Hi everybody, I just want to let you know a little bit about myself. I definitely know about arthritis. I've been experiencing it for a little over 20 years. I had a massive injury. A little story about myself, I had 3 back surgeries and 3 knee surgeries. This is what's in my back. I still have 1 set in. They finally had to take 1 set out because it was giving me some problems. Titanium screws and plates. This is the titanium screws that came out of my right femur. I got a big chunk of cartilage in my knee, about that big around, is missing. So trust me, I get it. I know what pain is. I know as much as you guys do, probably more, and some of you may even know more than me. If you do, I feel sorry for you. Listen, how do we deal with these things? How does a doctor deal with it? Surgeries, and then what? Medications. What do medications do for us? Can medications solve arthritis? No, they can't. The medical industry to this day hasn't been able to solve arthritis. Now, here is just a kind of a snapshot here of what's going on with all the medications that I was on. I haven't taken any of these since June, about mid-June. So, you know, that's a pretty good mix. I'm going to show you a list of everything that I was on. I hope you guys can see this because I can't tell. But basically, this is what you take for pain and for muscle relaxing. This is what you take in the beginning. Now, I took this for almost 20 years. And what happens when you take it so long, it eats away at your stomach. Now, I woke up one morning and I started puking blood. And it went up that I had an ulcer, bleeding ulcer created from this stuff. Now, then I had to go to another doctor and he gave me this stuff. Funny, huh? Then, basically, I got that kind of under control, but then I couldn't sleep anymore. So then I started having problems with insomnia. So I went to the doctor and he gave me this stuff. Doctors are great, right? They got a pill for everything. And I'm not being hard on doctors, really. They do the best they can with what they have to work with. Now, I had those injuries, and so obviously I couldn't work physically. So what did I do? I went and got a desk job. Now, here's the last thing. It's funny, huh? And I want you guys to look at this. These are x-rays of my hands. This is this thumb. The cartilage is worn down. So I have massive problems here. I have problems with my wrist. I have a lot of problems in this area due to the tendons. Why? I overworked them all. Why? Check this out, a mouse. All of you guys that have worked at home or using computers, you know what I'm talking about. Now, you want to hear the funny thing is, I'm the kind of guy that just keeps on going. You know, like a lot of you people are. I got myself a special mouse, you know. Hey, this one don't work, well, these work, so let's just keep going. You know, I can probably get another 2 or 3 years out of that arm. Thing is, what do? So, you keep taking these. I don't know, there's an end to it all. Now, I forgot something. You gotta have the pink stuff, you know. How many times do you wake up in the middle of the night with that heartburn and it's running up in your throat and you can't take it anymore? You gotta have the pink stuff. So what's the solution, guys? It's definitely not this. It's not this. I got lucky. I got turned on to this. It's called Provalin. It worked for me. How did I take it? I'm gonna tell you right now. I took a tablet in the morning, 1 at midday, 1 at night. I took it for 5 days. 3 tabs, 5 days. I got 80% reduction in pain. 80%, guys. None of this. I'm not on this. I wasn't on it. With this product right here, I got an 80% reduction in my pain. It took me about 10 days longer, and I got off the other 10%. So I'm running about 95% pain-free. It's wonderful. This stuff is natural. It's not going to hurt you. You're not going to have a liver transplant, and you probably won't get that bleeding ulcer like I did. Now, we all know on anti-inflammatories they're going to get you. This won't get you. It's I think they said it was made out of some sort of fungus. You know, like penicillin? Well, hey, if a fungus works, it works. Trust me, it works. If it works for me, it's going to work.
Osteoarthritis is the most frequent cause of physical disability among older adults in the world, affecting more than 20 million Americans, with 20% of us destined to be affected in coming decades, and becoming more and more widespread among younger people as well. Osteoarthritis is characterized by loss of cartilage in the joint. We used to think it was just mechanical wear and tear, but is now generally accepted as an active joint disease with a prominent inflammatory component, as evidenced by, for example, significantly higher production of inflammatory prostaglandins from tissue samples obtained from the knees of people suffering from the disease. If the loss of cartilage is caused in part by inflammation, might an anti-inflammatory diet help, like it does with rheumatoid arthritis? Using optimal nutrition and exercise as the first-line intervention in the management of chronic osteoarthritis could well constitute the best medical practice. Where's the best science on what optimal nutrition might look like? The China study is a prime example showing the serious health consequences of high consumption of pro-inflammatory foods, meat, dairy, fat, and junk, and low consumption of anti-inflammatory plant foods, whole grains, vegetables, and fruits, and beans, split peas, chickpeas, and lentils. The unnatural Western diet contributes to low-grade systemic inflammation and oxidative tissue stress and irritation, placing the immune system in an overactive state, a common denominator of conditions such as arthritis. There are phytonutrients in plants that appear to help decrease the degradation of the joint cartilage, the inflammatory activity, the cell death, and oxidative damage. This is based largely on in vitro studies, suggesting protective benefits of soy, and pomegranates, and citrus, and grapes, and green tea, and the curry powder spice turmeric. But my patients are people, not petri dishes. What role might the yellow pigment curcumin in turmeric play in the treatment of osteoarthritis? Well, obesity doesn't just put stress on our joints. Fatty tissue inside our joints, like in the kneecap itself, is a source of pro-inflammatory chemicals that have been shown to increase cartilage degradation. Curcumin may not only help prevent the release of inflammatory chemicals, but slow the formation of the fat pad in the first place. But enough with test tubes. There have been 2 clinical studies published to date. The latest took 50 patients suffering from moderate to mild knee osteoarthritis, and gave them either the best available medical treatment, which included control with anti-inflammatory drugs and painkillers, or the best available treatment along with some proprietary curcumin supplement. They looked at a number of different outcome measures, including the Karnofsky scale, which goes up to 100, which is normal, no complaints, no evidence of disease, down to 0, at which you're dead. The group with the added curcumin did significantly better, and were able to double their walking distance. This is the best medicine it had to offer, so Mother Nature made a counteroffer. The curcumin group was able to significantly decrease their drug use, significantly fewer side effects, less swelling, hospitalizations, and other treatments. But it doesn't have to be some fancy proprietary formula. Here's the other study: the efficacy of turmeric extracts in patients with knee osteoarthritis. About 100 sufferers were randomized to ibuprofen or concentrated turmeric extracts for 6 weeks, and the curcumin group did as good or better than the ibuprofen. Even though ibuprofen is over-the-counter, it can cause ulceration, bleeding, and perforation of the stomach and intestines, can eat right through our stomach wall, and in fact that happened to someone in the study. Whereas what are the side effects of curcumin? Potentially protecting against a long list of diseases.